What is up, everybody? And this is going to be a response video to my good buddy Nate, who happened to make a response video himself to my video, which was about the whole Nintendo Angry Joe situation. And his video was basically saying that myself and other people who are basically supporting Joe kind of missed the point on what a lot of people that are speaking out against Joe are saying. Now, I'll be honest, dude. I couldn't, and I don't know how many other videos you have watched on this issue, but I couldn't help but think that maybe you were mixing in my video with others. Because a lot of stuff you were saying, or you were insinuating that I guess somebody like me would say couldn't be further from the truth, and that's not what my video was about. I kind of think you also slightly missed the point of basically why I originally made the video in the first place. But I'll get into that. But I'm right with you, dude. I mean, you said you never heard of this The No channel until you saw my video. I never heard of that channel until Angry Joe talked about it on Twitter. So we're kind of there. We're on the same page there. And honestly, my problem with that video wasn't the fact that, and I completely understand that they stated that the rule that Nintendo has is stupid. My problem with their specific video is that the way they acted towards Joe, and they were acting in such a condescending attitude. Like they were saying things, they were talking, at some points I couldn't help but see that it seems like they were talking to him like he was a child. Like, no, you should have known better, you're being a bad boy. Bad Angry Joe. That's the vibe I got from it, and that's the problem I had with that video. Is that you can make your point without acting in that way. I mean, you could just say, kind of like you stated in your video. You were like, dude, that's the rule, and you should have known that was the rule, and that's that. Kind of like how you said it. See, they didn't do that, though. It seemed like they had to sneak a jab in there. And I couldn't help but think that there was maybe somewhat of an ulterior motive to that video. And that's why I had an issue with it. And it kind of seemed like that they were siding with Nintendo in a way. Because unless they have a personal beef with Joe, I don't know why they had to act that way. There was no reason to do that whatsoever. And the main point of your video that you kept bringing up, that you don't feel sorry for Joe and people should not feel sorry for Joe. I've never stated in my video that people need to feel sorry for Joe. Because honestly, Joe can defend himself. Obviously, because he made his own rant video on the topic. He doesn't need people like me basically defending him. And like I said, I never stated people should feel sorry for him. All I'm really saying is that if you agree the rule's stupid, which we all do, for the most part, because there are some people out there that honestly think that Nintendo is doing a good thing by doing this, and that Nintendo is protecting their products by doing this, because apparently making Let's Plays and using Nintendo content is considered harmful, which to me is completely ridiculous. Completely freaking ridiculous. I mean, we're all in agreement that the rule is stupid, but my point is that if you agree it's stupid, then we need to be supporting each other. As YouTubers, we need to be supporting each other and standing beside each other when tackling issues such as this. And I don't see that. I see people saying that, okay, the rule is stupid, but Joe, you should have known better. You should have known better, dude. And honestly, the more I thought about it, and I know you're probably not going to agree with this. You're probably not going to agree with this. But it's just something that crossed my mind. Now, as you stated, Joe is not really a Nintendo gamer. He's put up like 2 Nintendo videos that both got eventually taken down from Nintendo's copyright practices. Not saying Nintendo themselves took it down, Joe took them down himself. But it was because of Nintendo's copyright practices. So Joe's not really known as a Nintendo gamer. He put up those 2 gameplay videos, and then, of course, he's done 2 rants on Nintendo. Now, you're basically saying that, he should have known the rules. See, here's the thing. Since he doesn't, and like I said, you may not agree with this. This is just something that crossed my mind. It's just a theory I have. since he doesn't do much Nintendo gameplay, and he does so much other content, and he puts in all this countless hours and work into all these other videos he makes, since he doesn't do Nintendo content often, maybe, just maybe, Nintendo's copyright just slipped his mind. Because he doesn't have to deal with it that much. He only had to deal with it that one time. It's not like other countless channels that have had 500 plus Nintendo videos like DSP and other YouTube channels that were centered around Nintendo. They've had to deal with this shit constantly because of the amount of videos they had. Whereas Joe really didn't. So maybe that just slipped his mind. And maybe his mindset with that Mario Party video was, okay, here's a fun game I'm having fun with, and my friends that are with me are having fun, and we're having a great time. I think this would be a fun video for my channel, and I think my subscribers and fans would love it. Let me put it up there. I mean, that could have been his mindset, and maybe that Nintendo copyright just slipped his mind, because he also doesn't have to deal with that copyright that much, because no other company really enforces it. It's really Nintendo's the only one that really does enforce that. So maybe it just slipped his mind, because he's also human. We forget things sometimes. I forget things sometimes. So, I mean, honestly, that's what I think, the more I've thought about it. But you can think what you think, dude. So, honestly, I don't... It's not really the fact that he knew the rule. I think it's just that it slipped his mind. And that also leads into something you said. And it seemed like you were insinuating that Joe did this as a ploy to make a rant video just to get attention and just to get views, and I guess just to end up getting money. I can't agree with that, dude. Honestly, first off, because Joe's not hurting for views. His videos get tons of views. His angry reviews get tons of views. His random gameplay videos gets tons of views. He gets donations on his stream. He gets people subscribing to his stream. It's not like the guy's hurting for views and hurting for money. And usually when people have those kind of plans formulated, they are hurting for views, and they need the views, and they concoct plans to get those views. Joe really, his channel and his content really doesn't show that he's hurting for that stuff. So I don't really see him doing that. And honestly, at the end of the day, did he really force those sites to really report on his video? I mean, did he? I don't see that. Especially since he's very critical of mainstream gaming websites. So why would he go to them and say, hey, here's my video, put it on your website? No, honestly, I think these websites just took his video because it was a slow news day. And a lot of these gaming websites now, they know that drama, it's like you said, controversy creates attention. So maybe they took his video because they had it in their mind to get clicks and get attention. Honestly, I don't think that was Joe's motive. And honestly, he doesn't really need an excuse to make a rant video. He can make a rant video any freaking time he wants to, and it will get tons of views. He doesn't need an excuse to make a rant video. So, honestly, man, I have to disagree with you on there. I don't think this was a ploy. And honestly, he's only made 2 Nintendo rant videos. I've made more Nintendo rant videos than him. And there are channels that are almost dedicated to ranting on Nintendo, or at least the majority of their videos is ranting on Nintendo. So I can't agree. I don't think Joe did this as a ploy. Honestly, I think Joe just did this video because the copyright bullcrap that Nintendo's doing is just pissed him off, and he vented. I think that's really why he made the video. And honestly, another thing, and I just thought of this. If this was just a plan just to get views, why would he have spent countless hours arguing with people on Twitter, of all places? Arguing with just random people about this. To me, that shows that he's just legitimately pissed off at this, and he cares and wants to see this eventually fixed. Although I don't think this will ever be fixed because Nintendo is stuck in their goddamn ways. So, now as far as David Jaffe goes, my only problem with David Jaffe was that he said, and I have it right here, I put a Gaizo in the description of my video, and it's probably my fault that I didn't put it in the video. I thought about putting it in my video, but then I realized that it would extend the time of the gameplay, and there would be like a minute or two lapse of gameplay that would just be blank gameplay because my commentary was shorter than the gameplay clip. So I didn't put the Gaizo image in the video. I did think about doing it, but I did put it in the description, and it was my fault that I didn't put an annotation or anything. But David Jaffe basically said, and I will quote you right here, I have it right here: "Most of us in games want our shit streamed and talked about, but you gotta respect those companies that want no part of it, you know." That was my issue with him. I understand that he doesn't agree with the rule. But why the fuck should I respect Nintendo for throwing around their copyright hammer? Just as why should I respect, say, a mod on the stream that abuses their mod powers and just constantly bans people like they're on a power trip? To me, that's what Nintendo's on. They're on a power/greedy trip. Because honestly, Nintendo started doing this stuff in late 2013. There's been Nintendo gameplay videos, Let's Plays, reviews, what have you, since YouTube started. I used to watch, one of the first things I really got into when I first discovered YouTube was Zelda glitch videos. Last time I checked, that was a Nintendo game. And Nintendo didn't care about this before late 2013. So why would they all of a sudden just start doing it? To me, it's because they're just greedy for money. The Wii U is not doing well, and they want to try and recoup some of those losses. They're trying to get as much money as they can. That's why I think they're doing this. So, no, dude, that's the problem I had with David Jaffe. I can't respect that. I can't respect Nintendo for doing this. So yeah, I hope that covers it all. And one other point you said in your video that I'd like to address is that you said if YouTube went down, the gaming industry would still thrive. You're right, it would. But it would be a pretty big blow. Because YouTube is very important in gaming. Because as corrupt as gaming magazines and the big stream gaming websites have become, we need places like YouTube to really get this honesty. And I'm not saying everyone on YouTube is honest, but you will see more honest people on YouTube than you would on a mainstream gaming website, and especially in a gaming magazine. And honestly, people can watch gameplay, and that can help them decide if they like a game or not. Because contrary to what some people might believe, there have been people that have made purchasing decisions just by watching people play the game. That's helpful. Now, on the other hand, it could probably make them not buy the game. But at the same time, if the game was better, then maybe that the issue there is that the game is not that great. But see, YouTubers shine the light on these games. And we need that in this industry. Because this industry can be really corrupt and can be really dishonest. And we need honesty, and we need a lot of this light shined. And YouTube is the best place to do that, in my opinion. So I think it's very important. So I hope that covered everything, man. And let me know what you think. And anyone else who's watching this, just let me know what you think. And I guess I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Take care.